Happy Tuesday to you, friends. I hope that you're having a lovely day. I have a couple new journals to go into the shop this afternoon, and I have a little announcement to make. So we'll proceed with looking at the journals, and I'll just chat with you and let you kind of know what's going on. This is another little Georgia journal, a little tribute to Georgia O'Keeffe and her beautiful flowers. We were really interested to learn that of the 2,000 paintings that Georgia O'Keeffe did, only 200 were her flowers series. And to me, that is just like, it's astounding because that made up a small part of her work, but that's, is what she's known for. This Georgia journal is finished off with some handmade paper beads and some little crystal beads. And these are some sort of stone bead that I thought was super cool. There's a little close-up of that. The closure is a really sweet brad that Kathy sent along. She sent along a bunch of new brads, which is just awesome. They're so pretty. Thank you, Kathy. We appreciate that. This book starts out with This Book Belongs To. I love this. It's graphic 45 paper. It was an educational paper. I thought it was really so super cool. Let's see if we can get a little more light over here. Nope, that's not good. It's dark today, y'all. We've had like these very overcast, very blue days of late. Not like spring at all. This is your story page and your storybook right here, a little bit of handmade paper for some inspiration. And really that is kind of what this first signature is always about. It's about inspiring colors, inspiring designs, encouraging you to create very first when you crack open your journal, create. These are, I was finally able to work with my jelly plate that our angel sent me. Oh my goodness, that could be like a whole addiction in itself. My mission was to recycle some seasonal papers that I needed to use. I found myself completely, totally out of paper. And, that can go two ways. I was out of paper, and that encouraged me to be creative with papers that I did have. I had like maybe 20 pieces of scrapbooking paper, and they were all kind of seasonal, and I didn't think that they went with anything. I typically do like to use seasonal items, but these were, they were a little too seasonal. Does that make sense? So I needed to transform them in some way. The jelly plate was tons of fun. I could really kind of get addicted to that. But I was really super fortunate that I was able to go to Michael's yesterday and scoop me up some paper. Now, let me tell you about that little story that happened at Michael's. I went in the store, and I had a teeny little budget, and I needed papers, and I needed them in the worst kind of way. This is from the Farmer's Almanac about astronomy. I just think that is so pretty. American Weather Vanes from the 1983 Country Living magazine. More of the Farmer's Almanac that I love. We've got some super cool coffee-dyed papers from Gail. Now, Gail has sent along instructions about how to do this. So I am going to give it a go and see if I can have as much pretty success at it as she does. And here's a little bunny. We had our first bunny in our garden. You guys might recall my crazy French teacher and his bunnies in the garden. So really, I can't think about bunnies without thinking about Bunny in the garden. Bunny in the garden. There's a little hidden pocket here with lots of things for you to play with. These are recycled calendar elements, something for you to color, some pretty cutouts for you to play with, a little bit of text here, just lots of colors and fun for you to experiment with in this first signature. Okay, so I was telling you about my paper story. So go to Michael's, and I do have a coupon, and I am really scoping out some papers. And I look at the paper pads, and you guys know, I mean, they're 20 bucks, and it's like, ah, darn, you know, I've got a 40% off coupon, so I see several that I like, and I thought, well, you know, it's after Easter, so I'll just kind of run around the store and see if I see any, you know, maybe Easter papers that are half price or whatever. So I went around the store, and I saw nothing. So I ended up right back at the paper pad display. This second signature is all about building structure and depth with your artwork or your card crafting or whatever you want to do. It's all about layering, and I've got a wooden element for you to use, a little bit of cardboard. Cardboard is really great to apply paint or apply anything really, gesso, that kind of thing, molding paste. I really do like it for molding paste. This envelope has a couple of metal elements with you. You know, when we're talking about building depth, we like to build things up, and, you know, layers are awesome and texture is great. A little bit of gloss paper for you to play with, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial about using gloss paper that I think that you guys will really like. It's totally a thing that you can pull together if from around the house. A little bit of a fabric element for you, because fabric's fun to work with. Some homemade deli paper. I love the way that sounds. And this is a piece of metal tape. You know, guys, when I did the heavy metal tape tutorial and showed you how to use styrofoam and metal tape to create things, a little bit of bling, because that also creates texture. A napkin to play with, some tissue paper to play with. These are more of the jelly plate kind of print things that I was doing. For my jelly plate experiment, I was not so much about making things very prim or proper or beautiful. I was mostly about how much paper can I cover with this paint. I encourage you to watch the Cat Hands jelly plate video. Oh my gosh, Cat has some beautiful, beautiful prints. I was not getting anything nearly as beautiful as she was. She is like the total jelly plate expert. She's an expert in anything. Go visit Cat Hand. This is some bubble wrap. This makes good stamping. Stamping, you know, if you want to use a stamp pad and some bubble wrap. It looks so cool, y'all. A little bit of Prima flowers, because they're fun to stick to surfaces, and then slap some gesso and paint over it, or just use as is. There's your styrofoam element right there. Really do want you guys to have a lot to create with in this second signature here. We've got some Tim Holtz grunge board and another pretty piece of paper for you to play with right here. I like using a chipboard element, so you got a chipboard element and a pocket full of fun papers. I particularly like this one. Isn't that pretty? The gold on the black is just outstanding. Okay, so getting back to the story. Sorry, I'm off. I've had a busy morning. So I'm trying to focus and settle down. Shh, settle down. Settle down. Sometimes we just need that, don't we? Okay, so getting back to the Michael story, here's what happened. I found myself back at the paper pad aisle and thinking, oh, you know, okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get 2 paper pads, and that should last me for a little while. And then all of a sudden, I looked down, and I looked on the bottom shelf opposite the paper pad aisle, and what did I find, y'all? I found 3 outstanding paper pads for $7.99 each. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to start creating with them. They are so pretty. One of them even has like a gold edging on it. Really, really amazing. So, you know, you just have to think sometimes that Providence just kind of steps in and goes, hey, did you look over here? a crazy thing. And, you know, things like that are just not, they're not lost on me. I recognize that Providence does step in a whole lot. These are pages from the 1983 Country Living magazine. I absolutely adored this one with the beautiful plates and the tin full of apples. My grandma and grandpa had one of these enamel bowls, and it had a red rim around it, and we would go pick things from the garden. We would go hoe potatoes. It was just one of the most divine experiences that I've ever had. Mama and Grandma would sit under this big oak tree on this glider, this metal glider, and they would snap beans or shell peas or whatever, and I tell you, it was just bliss. I just really do love that memory. The little Valentine's elements for you, because they were just pretty, pretty, pretty. I just really did love them. You guys know how much I love a good kitchen and some pottery and some china. This is an advertisement for a new Whirlpool microwave oven. Look at that. Isn't that something? I also love this, the apples in the bowl, the little painted chairs. Oh, I love that magazine, and we are out of it. We have no more 1983 Country Living magazine. And we've got, of course, the bird elements over here for you. And this is an ATC kit. So if you don't want to take your whole journal, like if you're waiting somewhere for an appointment or something like that, and you don't want to take your whole book, you can just slip out one of these little envelopes, and I'm starting to incorporate a whole lot more of these in these journals. Take this out, get a glue stick, and boom, you're set. You are ready to create. I've got some ATCs in here for you, fabric scraps, stickers, things like that. So lots of fun. This is a little travel section. This is about Tennessee. And why do you think that travel is fabulous? And where are places that you want to go to? Okay, so that kind of brings me around to some things that are happening and some news about the shop. So I wanted to let you guys know that the shop will be, my Etsy store will be closed from April the 10th until May the 1st. I am being blessed with a trip by my sister. It will be my 60th birthday this summer, and she is blessing me with a trip, and I am very excited. I'm more than excited. It is quite an endeavor, quite a big trip, and I will come back with a whole lot of ephemera and fun things for us to play with. I am quite confident of that. This is a 1947 Mr. and Ms. Harry Nielsen piece. I love the stamps on these pieces. They're so pretty. 1942 Red Cross Nursing Manual. This is a how to make a Lazy Susan inside of a shelf from the 1960 Adele's DIY book. A little bit of Charles Dickens, a little bit of the Peter Newell Alice in Wonderland illustrations. Don't forget that this is an annotated Alice, so it is super, super fun reading. You know, little anecdotes and people who have studied Alice in Wonderland and Lewis Carroll and stuff like that. A little bit of Shakespeare for you. I love this paper because it's very much like tissue paper. More text, a little bit of Inspector Poirot. This is some Emily Dickinson poems. I love Emily Dickinson. I also love Edna St. Vincent Millay. My favorite poem by Edna St. Vincent Millay is "My candle burns at both ends. It will not last the night. But oh my foes and ah my friends, it gives a lovely light." I really do like that. We've got 2 vintage Christmas cards from you from the Harry Nielsen collection. More papers, more illustrations for you to play with. I really love this. You guys know how much I love circles. And this is some, I think it's wrapping paper. Super cool. And I love these bright, bright, bright colors. And we've got a fabric page for you to work with as well. And the end pocket is right here. Georgia, I think we'll call her Georgia Flowers. And she will go in the store a little later this afternoon. I know that sea turtle has been a super fun fabric to work with, and lots of y'all have purchased and requested sea turtle. So we got some sea turtle for you, a strand of blue and light blue and mirrored beads on the spine. The closure, y'all, is small, but it was so pretty, and it went with the cover so well. It's a green sparkly closure, and I thought it was really, really pretty, so we're going to use that anyway. Okay, more about being gone. I'll be gone for a couple of weeks, and then I will be back and hopefully have tons and tons and tons and tons of ephemera for us to play with. It is an exciting trip, but I am but nothing. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to spend time with my precious sister. I love her so much. She is such a hardworking, more jelly plate. Oh man, I love this. And the texture it like creates when it comes off the plate. Oh my Lord, it's just scrumptious, y'all. I love her so much, and she's a seasoned traveler, so it won't be like, you know, kind of going somewhere and getting stuck or stuck with a group of people that you don't really know. So I'm very, very, very excited about going, but I will miss you guys. I will miss you so much, and I hope that you will stick with me, you know, kind of during my absence. And really, it's only going to be 2 weeks. I'll be gone. I'm closing the shop April 10th. No, it is 3 weeks. I'm closing the shop April 10th. My last day to go to the post office will be Friday the 13th, but that's okay. I'll be going to the post office April 13th. So if you guys wanted to snag a journal, you know, for a gift or for something like that, then this week would be the time to snag one, because I will be releasing 2 journals a day until April the 10th. This is about texture and building and having fun creating with different textures. We've got gloss paper here for you, our bubble wrap, metal tape, Prima flowers, styrofoam, napkins, tissue paper, grunge board, just like anything that you want to create some texture and fun. More of the jelly plate. I'm really going to have to do that, but honestly, it really needs to be done when it's warm outside. It dried quickly, but I think it would dry really quickly if I were in the sunroom. We have not had sun. We have not had warm weather. We are waiting. A wooden element here for you to play with, and of course some cardboard. Cardboard is great to use as a scraper or to apply anything. My mama and daddy love country ham, and I just thought this was the prettiest plate. Every day I call my mama, and she tells me as she went to the store that day and what she bought and where she went to pick up lunch. A lot of times she likes to go to Taco Bell, and my daddy likes Taco Bell as well, or she'll go by Arby's, or she'll go by places like that and get things to eat for them. It's very precious. She's 80 years old. She just had her license renewed, and she is well and can see perfectly. And she told me when she got her license renewed that meant, she could take care of herself and daddy for 5 more years until her license was due again. So I thought that was really sweet. You know, it was not about her. It was about her and my daddy, or really about my daddy. My daddy lost his eyesight a couple years ago. He still, you know, he still weed whacks the neighborhood and cuts people's grass, but he cannot drive. He lost his independence. So Mama is the caretaker. But do you know that every week when the trash people come, my daddy walks down the street and puts people's garbage cans back up into their garages. I just think that that's so sweet. I mean, you just don't see that kind of volunteerism to make things better very often these days. Again, more of the jelly prints, I'm sorry, y'all, you got jelly prints in here because I didn't have any paper. I love this article about moonshine and NASCAR, folks. I grew up in North Carolina. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is NASCAR territory, peoples. So, on Sunday afternoon, we watched NASCAR. It was like a given. That's just what you did on Sunday afternoon. You watched NASCAR. I love the history of the whole moonshine thing and how bootleggers started out. And for sport, bootleggers challenged each other to races, converting fields and pastures to makeshift tracks and racing their turbocharged cars at risky speed. I just love it. I love NASCAR. I love cars, period. That's a funny thing, isn't it? But I was raised around them, so I just have this Southern girl thing for them. Some Peter Newell illustrations from Alice in Wonderland. A little bit of Tale of Two Cities from Charles Dickens. More pockets and ABCs for you to play with. This is from the 1960 Odell's DIY, how to make bunk beds for your preteens. And if you have preteens, then you might be teaching them how to do Morse code because you probably don't have them sitting in front of a TV or a cell phone at this point. So this is from the 1956 50 Things for Boys and Girls to Do. 1942 Red Cross Nursing Manual, and these are disease hazards of adolescence, so that all kind of went together. 1946 Nielsen Ephemera. I love the stamps. The vintage card, the joke's on them. Those guys that sit in Washington have surely missed a lot, but I'm not one to tell them they ain't taxed wishes yet, so happy birthday again and again. And this is signed Kath and Aussie on the back, and we know that Kath is Catherine and Aussie is Oscar. The Officers of Annette chapter. This was such a pretty card. It's a For You card. Very sweet. I love the sentiments on those cards. They're kind of heartfelt. I mean, you're looking at ephemera that is 60 years old. Yeah, about my age, 60, sometimes older than that. And a pocket full of shiny papers for you to play with. So this is a little bit of a finicky closure, y'all. You're going to have to kind of pull up on this brad just a little bit to slide your stretchy string in there. And of course we've got a big girth on both of these journals. I can't stop. I got a problem. Okay, friends, I will have these in the shop later on this afternoon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.